Hey guys, Popular Boat here, and today I'm playing some Stellaris. I'm pretty excited about it. I only just got my hands on it over the weekend, and I'm been really looking forward to it. I've had a quick playthrough on a small galaxy, bit of a quick trial run to get my head around mechanics, so I won't be fumbling through during this. Now, we are going to play as the Koala Ascendancy, which is the species I've put together. We are xenophobes, so we have alien slavery tolerance and some xenophobia. We're not going to be too keen on it working with our neighbours. We're Fanatic Materialists, which gives us a boost to science output. We're a direct democracy, so we can have direct control over more planets in our core sector. In this game you have a limit on how many planets you can control directly. Our leader lifespan, we're enduring, so we have our leaders will live for 30 years longer. We are weak. Let's actually go into the traits list. So for the traits we have 2 points to pick and a total of 4 traits we can choose. So this means we have to make decisions to take some negatives if we want to get some bonuses. So weak is an easy negative because army damage isn't that painful. Enduring is a great one. If your leaders live longer, they will be able to gain experience for far longer, and it's quite a bonus. And we were intelligent, so we get a boost to science output. Pretty happy with all that. We live on continental worlds. And what was I trying to get to? Government. So we're a xenophobe, so that will mean these things. And we're a direct democracy, so your choices of ethics affect your government types that you have available. So if you're a pacifist, you're obviously not going to be able to be a military republic. Whoops. My first playthrough I went as a slaver race, and that was quite fun, but a lot of micromanagement, so I'm hoping this will be a bit different as a democracy with elections being held. Our starting weapons are energy weapons, which give armor penetration. We're going with warp travel. My first playthrough I went with wormholes, and they seem to be pretty great for getting around quickly, so I'm hoping warp isn't going to be too much of a disadvantage over that. And we're going with reptilian ships. I'm going for a medium size, 600 stars. Let's go 18 AI empires, 6 advanced starts, which means there'll be regular AI with larger starting points. Hard because normal seemed to be a bit too cruisy. And of course Iron Man. So we can actually get some achievements. In the eons since the first primitive koala communities took shape on the grassy savannas of Eucalyptica, our civilization has spread and prospered. As our technology progressed to a level that allowed for instantaneous communications, our inefficient nation-states merged together to form a true democracy, with every citizen having a say in important decisions. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Koala Ascendancy have finished development of the first warp drives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. Excellent. Yeah, let's have a bit of a look around. We've got a red sun, so let's change this to red gum. So we are on a little moon floating around this gas giant. We're a continental world, which we have 100% habitability on. We start with some buildings, we start with some pops. It's looking pretty good for minerals actually. Let's get a farm built straight up on here. It's capital world. We have defensive army and we have our fleets. Now, we start with limited resources, as would be expected. Hopefully with some asteroids we'll get some decent minerals. Let's get our science started. So your scientists have a specialization, so this is actually a pretty excellent. 2 people have started with Spark of Genius, so they give plus 10% to all research. This guy specializes in biology, so if we see any biology icons such as this one, he'll have a boosted research speed of those. And also, being a biologist, we have a higher chance of getting these cards. So research is based on like a deck of possible options kind of system. So you get dealt a random set, or a weighted set, depending on traits and what you've already researched. And you pick what you want from that. So I think deflectors is going to be a pretty good option to start with. Let's grab that. Now, these aren't that spectacular. Let's get the colony ship started. And bonus minerals sounds great to me. I might actually swap some of these scientists around. Not physics, I want engineering, yes. So we can get that bonus 10% onto society research. Okay, that's that. Let's have a look at our leaders. Our governor gives us even more science output. That's fantastic, actually. So how much are we actually producing? Or is it... Oh, okay, so the governor... Bear with me, this UI is a bit tricky to get my head around. So he's governing the planet. A planet should be producing tons of bonus science once we actually get some population on these science tiles. So we're building a farm, that's good. Okay, we start with a construction ship which can build mining stations, research stations around planets, but we really need to get our science ship surveying systems and discovering resources. Oh, okay. So we've got energy credits, which are kind of like money, minerals which we use to build everything, and influence we get as kind of a... It's kind of like... sort of like power projection, sort of. And that lets us enable different edicts, and I think I might actually chuck free thought on to get some bonus research speed. Ethics divergence isn't really going to happen too much this early on. And it looks like we've got some pretty decent starting things. Okay, let's have a quick look around. We have started in the northwest corner. And we've got some planets that are already within range, so that's great. We're specialized onto continental worlds, so we'll want to find more of those pretty quickly. So let's get our military fleet and start sending it around to do some scouting for us. So this fleet will jump in, give us basic intel on a system, and then move on to the next. We've got quite a cluster. Nothing down this end though. Can we jump that far? Almost. We'll just do a full lap. That's okay. Now hopefully we don't land on any hostiles that are just going to slap us in the face really hard. Let's unpause and watch our science ship do its thing. So this game is really, really pretty. They've done a really good job with textures for planets, models and textures for ships. So this is our space station, spaceport. That's where we will build all of our fleets and everything like that. I might actually get ship building straight up, because we're playing on hard and we'll tend to run into enemies pretty quickly. So our fleet's about to arrive in this system, and we've found... Perfect. We have found another continental world. Pretty big too. So systems we haven't been to yet are completely unknown to us. Ones we have got within our borders or scanner range, we get low intel, so we can see the number of planets. Once we visit it, we get medium intel, which will show us what the planets are and what types, if they're colonizable, that is. And if it's got a grey name, we haven't surveyed it yet, and as our science ship runs around, we'll get more information. So already we found 2 energy credits on our gas giant. What I'm really looking for is more minerals first, because we already have positive energy credits.
Complete.
Spaceport has built a ship. Let's see if that ship can catch up to the other. Tell them to merge, and our fleet is going to be the drop bears. Naturally. Continental, excellent. So we already have continental worlds within our borders. Let's see how big this one is. Oh, that's pretty tiny, but still 15. Planets can be from about 6. I think the smallest I've seen so far has been 6, all the way up to 25 or so. Hopefully we don't have any neighbours too close. Arctic world. So we've gone with warp travel. When they arrive in a system, there's a wind down, there's a cooldown period before you can jump again. And the wind down period also means they can't move until the cooldown is finished. I'm surprised we haven't run into any hostiles yet. Okay, how's our research going? Quite a while for these. Excellent, we found some minerals. Anomaly found. A feel for steel. The mineral composition of discs does not match projections. Failure risk is pretty damn high, so I think we'll leave that for now and come back to it as our scientist gains more skill. Let's get a mining station built on the little moon there. And our fleets have caught up to each other, which is good. Leader has gained a level already, wow.
Construction complete.
Finish the hydroponics farm. I'm gonna move this guy over to minerals and build a mining a mining network when we have the minerals available. So food on a planet, as long as you have 1 surplus food, your planet will be growing at a standard rate of 1. As we can see here, for every food over, why is that? So we have 4. Okay, that's sounding pretty damn loud. I might turn that down in a moment. For every food over, you should be producing an extra 10%. 1.2 a month. That doesn't seem right. Okay. Encountering Intham. Intham? We've encountered some form of alien vessel. Let's go have a look. Right, it needs to be unpaused. So we have found some crystalline entities, I believe. Looking all crystally. These guys shouldn't be hostile to us while we're on the border. They shouldn't come out to fight us. We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Intham system. These strange objects have been flagged as the Alpha Menace. Until we learn more about them, we should proceed with caution.
Situation log updated.
Oh, slow down. Contact report. Okay, Eucalyptica is in an uproar following the news of unidentified ships sighted in the void. Their intentions unknown. It would be prudent to assume the worst. So because we've run into them, our situation log, which keeps track of events and projects to do, has added these. And we've also run into some other guys, have we? We've found a space amoeba. These guys are painful because they roam around and will destroy things if you're not careful. Okay, we've found a beta menace. So let's get these projects started. These are society research projects, so our society scientist will take a break from what he's doing to do the research projects. From what I've seen, we're supposed to it's supposed to accumulate the research points while we're studying to boost research once these projects are done, but doesn't seem to be doing it how I would expect. Okay, we found some ocean worlds, we found a couple black holes, which look really cool. Loving the style they did for this. Okay, another more desert world. Okay, have we found more minerals? One more. We've finished that mining station. Let's send him over there. We've finished. Well, we have enough minerals now to build the mining network in our home system, and we're going to be low on power, so maybe I'll build that next. Okay, this is very loud, let me turn it down. Cool. We have encountered more aliens. What have we found? Nothing? Oh, okay. There's some people in the adjacent system. So this is our scanner range of our ships. And so they detected people over here. Now we can see this is going to be a AI race because they have spaceport, construction ships, military, bit of everything. So we can do another project to communicate with them, but if we do that, then their borders will show up for us and they'll boot us out of their space. Okay, we've finished surveying this system. 2-star, 17%. Okay, how about you go do some more surveys and then you can come back. Construction ship. Tropical world. Let's see what these guys have as a starting world. Tropical. Cool, we're not going to overlap too much. So, our species... where is it? Species has continental preference. So, by default, at the start of the game, we can colonize any continental worlds without having to do research first. And as we go, we have the science to unlock things such as colonizing tropical worlds, ocean worlds, etc. What the preferences and the habitability means, it's basically a happiness cap. So if our pops are on the continental world, we have a cap of 80% habitability, 80% happiness. On the other planets, that's reduced. But Tex will let us change that in the future, or improve it at least. Crystalline entities. The reports of strange free-floating crystal-like objects observed in certain systems have been investigated. The ship-sized objects and their slightly smaller but equally crystal-like satellites at first appeared inert, but sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signatures emerging from within the prisms indicate that they should be regarded as hazardous and approached with extreme caution. We should deploy a fleet to gauge the crystal's offensive strength, should they possess any, and destroy them if they are a threat. Now, we can study them remotely, but I think as we're xenophobes, we're just gonna break them up. Kill it with fire. Space amoebas. The entities encountered by a fleet some time ago were spaceborne forms of life, quickly named space amoeba, following an analyst's gross misreading of initial sensor output, the creature is in fact larger than an average Koalian corvette, which is our basic ships. Further study is warranted. We may choose to either remotely monitor the creature and its kin from Eucalyptica, or attempt to swiftly bring down a specimen to study and eventually commercially exploit its remains. Break it apart. Kill them all with fire. We're waiting on minerals. Once our fleet is finished exploring all this, I'm going to upgrade it. Now's probably a good time to have a look at the ship designer. So in the ship designer we have all of the different ships we currently can build, and we can customize the sections if it's a military ship, the modules it has on it, and the... what does it call this? This is the components. Stop it. Okay, so military ships have different core options. Things like small and medium weapon slots, lots of small weapon slots, or one small weapon slot with more utilities. Medium slot seems to be the better way to go. So for your weapons, they have small, medium, large slots they fit into. And generally, the bigger they are, the larger their range. So for our weapons, having a medium slot means that we have an extra 10 range, which is a fair improvement. The other option of having 3 small lasers would just give us a better chance to hit, I would say, because our accuracy is only 80 or 82%. So if we have more shots firing, that's more chances to hit, but less damage with each hit. Encounter in Kongarth. What did we find? That looks like a science ship from those other aliens. Oh, there's another bunch of people.
Anomaly found.
That's still quite a high failure risk. Unusual energy readings. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this planet. It might have been a glitch in our system, or it could be a sign of something more. Let's leave it for now. I'd really like to get him up to level 3 or so. Mass extinction. Our first stumbling steps into the void beyond Eucalyptica were not motivated solely by curiosity, or a desire to conquer the unknown, or a need to leave our mark on the galaxy. The biosphere of Eucalyptica has undergone rapid changes in the past few centuries, and prominent scientists warn that Eucalyptica may be faced with the beginnings of a mass extinction event, that cycling purge of life that is inseparable from planetary existence in the greater cosmos. A research plan has been put together to study a number of planets rendered uninhabitable by major astronomical incidents or planet-bound catastrophes. We hope that by reconstructing these events, a similar fate may be avoided for Eucalyptica and the Koala race. It falls to you as Chancellor of the Koala Ascendancy to ensure that this expedition is carried out.
Situation log updated.
So let's have a look at that. We need to go and have a look at these different planets. So let's see where they all are. Some are pretty far away. I like how it's done a nice triangle around us. These 2 are going to be easy. These 3 not so much. We might actually be able to just rush to them, assuming the systems are empty. Oh, okay. We almost have enough minerals for our next mining station. How is our planet looking? Almost finished that, and then there we go. Now we aren't making any new mineral credits, or energy credits, sorry. Let's get this mining station going, assuming there's not a better spot for it. How are you going? Almost done. Hostile fleets present. We found more crystalline entities. He's doing a pretty decent job of exploring, and we haven't run into anyone who's actually rushed over to fight us yet, which is good. One of my earlier games, one of the first planets I went and, first systems I went and had a look at with my army, ran straight into some mining drones who ran straight over, started shooting us in the face, and by the time I withdrew, I landed back home on top of some space amoeba on the edge of my system, and they just flattened me some more. And then I hit the emergency retreat button and it just sent me straight back towards the hostiles. And so I had no fleet within the first few years of the game. And that was not good at all. Okay. More hostiles. Oh, we've just jumped back into the same system. To get around. So with wormholes, we would have a wormhole generating station in our main system, and we would have a range that we could travel and just go back and forth to all of the different places. With warp travel, we have to jump around. And it's a bit less freedom. Well, a lot more freedom, I should say. Let's go survey that system. We've run into... What have we run into? Those look like mining drones to me. Let's get that started. I don't want to do the research projects for the neighbours yet, so we still have free roam through their systems. Mass extinction, the desolate planet. The planet in this system still wears the fossilized traces of a past ecology on its sleeve. What could turn a thriving biosphere into a blasted wasteland? A special project has been issued to trace the source of this disastrous transformation. So let's get our scientists to do that research project and then survey the system. More aliens. Who did we find? Space cows. These guys just kind of float around and do their thing unless you attack them, and then they'll be hostile, and if they come into your systems they'll start breaking your stuff. And it's a pretty easy way to lose all of your mining stations. Send him into orbit to reduce his maintenance cost. How are we looking for food? Positive. I might get a science lab built, and that way we can use all of our empire bonuses to get extra research. Because at this point, even getting +1 is a 20% boost, and having 30% extra on top of that will be quite significant. Might change these orders a bit. Get our guy to come and scout this and then go up. We can't actually issue orders while they're jumping, which is a bit painful. Let's just send him straight up to there and then back.
Special project complete.
Life on the now barren planet was sadly doomed from the start, so our scientists researched this. As if by some cruel stellar conspiracy, the dominant species on the planet barely had time to awaken to sapience and invent agriculture before, through unfortunate geological mechanisms, the Earth started to turn sour. Samples from lower soil strata and the fossilized remains of the creatures that once roamed the planet show that several vital minerals needed to rejuvenate the soil ended up, through their largely agricultural diet, in the endoskeletons of the native beings. Their bones were prone to fossilize rather than decay, and their very existence exhausted the fragile ecosystem they inhabited, leaving it permanently transformed in the wake of their passing. That is unfortunate. Okay, running low on minerals. On our planet we have these tile blockers which prevent us from using a tile until we clear them. It's basically just an expense to be able to expand more. As we go to other planets, they will have more advanced ones like radioactive wastelands and mountain ranges, and these all need special research to be able to clear. More hostiles. Mining drones. Run away, please. So far we've got 2 neighbours, and there's probably going to be a third up here. How is our scientist going? Doing well. Doing well. Okay, we've reached the noxious planet. Allegedly, this planet's flora and fauna, choked on their own poisonous emissions, likely helped along by the release of reactive gases from beneath the planet's crust. A special project has been issued to investigate the matter.
Situation log updated. Special project complete.
What did we complete? Right, investigating these. Ancient mining drones. Reports of deep space drones in certain systems have been investigated. The drones appear to be the workers and custodians of an autonomous orbital mining operation, established millennia ago, and then soon abandoned by all but the drones themselves. Judging by the state of the processing equipment, their purpose is obvious enough: mining. But who it is that tasked them is not immediately apparent. What is obvious is that no shipment of minerals has been retrieved from the system in hundreds, if not thousands of years. They may be old drones, but they should be kept under close watch by the Koala Ascendancy. From experience, I know if we do a listening post, it'll give us information on mineral-rich systems, but it's not that useful to us.
Situation log updated.
If we break them apart, then we get research on the equipment they use. And I think that's going to be a good time to take a break. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying the Stellaris, and I will be back very soon with some more. Thank you. Oh, also, please like, subscribe, and leave any comments if you have any feedback. It's always appreciated. Thanks again.